We got Boston College head coach Joanna Bernabei-McNamee with me right now. Kelly, appreciate the assist there. I see you hooking Coach up. Coach, we just heard the little bit of that pregame or pre-practice sound where you're talking to your players about the hard work and what they need to do. What's it been like this offseason, just trying to get them motivated and inspired? And I'm sure they're really excited for another season.
Yeah, you know, I told our players right when our 3-week preseason ended, because that's about all we get with them now. It's about 3 to 4 weeks. I said, this has by far been the most enjoyable preseason I've ever had. And wow. I think part of that was because we got to go to Italy this summer. So we got, we got a lot of extra practices with them. And just, I think we really got to know each of them as people and just got to spend a little bit more off-court time with them. But this is a fun group to coach, and I think that hopefully will translate to good things.
That's what makes it more fun, doesn't it? When you really 100%. Enjoy the people you're with, you look forward to getting into the gym.
Yes.
My big question for you is who's going to play the point this year?
Well, I think we're going to have the combination of Kayla Ivey and Jacayla Thompson, both a senior and a freshman. So not only does their ages separate them, but even their styles of play. So I think it'll be really fun. We have kind of two different styles there at the one. And we have the older player in Kayla Ivey kind of teaching and letting Jacayla Thompson learn from her, and then Jacayla has her own energy as a freshman and that wanting to prove herself mentality. So that should be fun.
Coach, I'm excited about this team. I think you have a lot of veterans coming back, Wagner, Lacey,
right.
Tiana Todd. You could kind of say she's a veteran at this point after last year. And injuries piled up last season for you guys. We know that. So how do you feel about the core, some of these veterans that you have returning?
I love the veterans. I think that's the best thing when you have people stick with you, is you really get to know them and they get to know you. And through these veterans, they have this belief, and even they'll say, like, we deserve this. So we all kind of feel like that there's that chip on all of our shoulders where we're underdogs. We want to surprise people. We want to play well. And you didn't mention Andrea Daly, yes, who's also a big part of what we were, toward the end of the year, really growing as a player. And she's just continued that growth coming in to this season. So I think that we finally have seniors that, you know, they always bring that extra oomph of it matters, you know, and they don't want to go out on a bad note. They want to go out on a good note. And then we have these younger players that are so excited to be a part of the ACC that it makes it a very fun group to coach.
Yeah, Coach, how has the energy been like at practice? How is the atmosphere? Do you see a big difference from last year into this year?
I think our energy is generally pretty good each year, but this year I just feel that there's more happiness in general. I think people are really supporting each other, and if somebody's having a little bit of a bad day, you just see the team kind of pick them up, and they're just not going to have it, at least for that couple hours that we get to have them. So we have like a be here now mentality, and everybody's really kind of gravitated toward that, and I have a really fun, enjoyable coaching staff that also I look forward to seeing every day. We have like some funny people, some older people, and it's just like this combination of good people, and you know what they say, you know, good things happen to good people that work hard, and I think that's what we have a group of.
Well, I would say maybe good things happen to good people, and that is probably why, and people who work hard, you guys have this awesome new facility that I know you are so excited about. Give us the lay of the land and how you guys have been enjoying it.
The Hogue Pavilion is absolutely gorgeous, and it's something that has been like a long time coming, right? So since I've been at Boston College, we've talked about having this type of practice facility, and now finally it's come to fruition. And when I tell you it is state of the art, it is gorgeous. Wow. I mean, it makes everybody in general just in a better mood and happier. Our players are eating better because it has an amazing fueling station. They have a place to sleep and lounge and study and just hang out in between classes. And we've just never had that since I've been at Boston College. So it has taken our program, and I think it will continue to take our program to another level. But the players right now that are getting to enjoy it, and if you saw what we kind of had been in the last couple years, it really, because through that construction, we even got displaced from the locker room that we had before. I think they feel like, wow, I'm glad we waited this out and stuck through.
It looks like a difference maker to me.
Cool.
And I saw the video on your social media about your players going in there and seeing it. And Coach, you were really fighting for this for your program. And how have you seen it not just affect your players, but recruiting? Because that's a whole different ballgame with a facility like that.
It's kind of like before with recruiting, we kind of just brought them in and we showed them our beautiful campus. But we kind of, skirted around the other things, right? And now, I can't wait to show it off, right? So I can't wait to have them there, and I feel like now we have a facility that matches the beauty of our campus, and that combination with what all the Boston College has to offer, I just think our recruiting will skyrocket, and now we can be that team that matches what our expectations are in our recruiting.
You know, for me, it was the snacks. Like, there were snacks out all the time. I could just go downstairs and have the snacks. And we got our facility right after all the good players graduated, and I was like,
Someone
man,
who barely eats.
I can't
she talks
believe
about snacks a lot. She doesn't eat like before noon or after or whatever. I don't know. Anyway,
she does
sorry.
always have snacks on the
But I
side.
do like to eat.
snacks.
Go ahead.
Yes.
But I think you're right about the recruiting, because kids now want to know, how are you going to make me better?
Right.
And so when they see a facility like this, and here's the weight room, here's the training room, here's the nutrition center, and you're maybe even studying in there. There's everything. You could live in
Absolutely.
there probably, right?
Yeah, and I think when people do their research, they already see the great skill development that our program does. But now when they see this facility that just lets them have the convenience, I think that's the big thing that it provides your players, is the convenience of, oh, look at these great meals that we have provided right here in our facility. Hey, right between classes, we have this, we can go get shots up and shower really quickly and get back to what we're doing. And when I tell you, the bathroom and the showers are gorgeous. Like, that's gorgeous.
The showers?
Yes. So I think that even that, like, I can't wait to show off those kind of things, because
Have you seen this toilet?
girl, have you?
It lights up and everything.
For real. And I think when our players came in and they got to see it, I was in the back of everybody, and I was choked up just to see their reaction and just their excitement for what, like I said, has been a long time coming for them. So I think that is like this new regenerated energy for us.
My question is, to be able to have this type of facility and the work that you put in, how does that make you feel? Like me and Coach are saying, fighting for equality, making sure that we also have the state of the art, facilities for the women, just as, has the men. How does that make you feel with all the blood, sweat, and tears you have put into this game?
To be honest, it makes me thankful for all the women that fought for those things before we came around, right? I mean, I think that the path that is paved from earlier women like Kathy and Gleese and people that just really fought for what is right and what needs to be done, that makes they've made the road pretty smooth for women like me that come in, and we still have that fight in us, but we don't have to fight as hard, which is wonderful. And that goes to our administration is really good at Boston College. We have a new administration that fights for us, and they do make me feel like I don't have to fight so much.
Great perspective. And thanks, Coach. Thanks for fighting. Good job there.
Yes, thank you. For sure.
Dontavia Wagner is a player that we know how good she is defensively. I think she had 70 steals last year. She missed a bunch of games.
She missed a lot of games.
Unreal. And her offensive game was coming along. I know you've talked about she's really developing into a true two-way player. So tell me more about Dontavia this offseason.
I'll tell you, she's if she's not on that national defensive team, there's something wrong, right? She's taken her defensive and her discipline on defense to another level. And then offensively, she's putting in time, and I think that also goes to where this team enjoys each other. So you would almost be an outcast on this team if you weren't putting in extra time, which has been nice to see. So Dontavia is one of those players that is putting in that extra time, and with her athleticism, that's really all she needed, was a little bit more time putting into the game. And she's been really fun to coach, and she's grown in her own leader by example role, which has been really fun to see her maturity as both a person and a player. So I think I don't think she's going to take anybody by surprise, because people already expect big things, but I think that she's really going to live up to those expectations.
She has continued to grow her game. It's been so fun to watch her, Coach, and we're going to get to see your team, first of all, on November 6th for your home game with Holy Cross. But 4 games in, you're going to have a battle with the top 10 program, go on the road to Ohio State. We've been talking about it from coach's perspective and players' perspective, what it's like to prepare for those big games that early. But what have you been saying to your team? Because I know you're not going to skip over anything. That obviously is a big one.
It is, and I think that the big thing is those challenges early are kind of what you live for, right? You live to see, as competitors, what you're made of and what you can do, and I just think there's no better way to prepare us for the ACC than play those tough non-conference games, and hopefully that gets us into the tournament. I think that was a struggle a couple years ago when we missed out, was that we just didn't have a strong enough non-conference, and so hopefully that's going to help us.
You're definitely going to have a strong schedule this year with that game, but that is going to be a great barometer for you early in the season. And it's going to help you kind of move on. It's going to help your freshmen. It's going to really help everybody.
Right, absolutely.
You mentioned, and we talked a little bit about Dontavia, but before we let you go, I know JoJo Lacey is here as well, and she's a player that means so much to this program. How have you seen her grow in the offseason?
And she's had that girl up, spending the last 4 years with her. I've just got to see a player that she has like this beautiful smile, and she's like maybe one of the nicest people that you'll ever come in contact with. So she has a hard time like flipping that switch and turning it into like, now I'm a mean competitor. And I think finally we've gotten that accomplished. So she's never going to be mean, but she is definitely flipping that switch to being like, if I'm making my shots or not making my shots, I'm going to play as hard as I can on both ends of the floor. And I love to see that with her, and her just be more of a serious competitor. And I think that's what she's bringing to the table right now as a senior.
That's funny, Coach, because I feel like that's you.
Yeah.
Like your exterior, super nice, super sweet, but I mean, I see you coach. I see you getting after refs. I've seen you in practice, so I feel like you just kind of described yourself.
I love the refs.
And they love you.
She's like, let it be known right now before the season starts on live TV. I love all of them. Well, Coach, we cannot wait to see you guys get things started on November 6th.
Thank you.
Can't wait to make it up there one day and see those new digs too.
Ooh, yes,
got to.
please.
Looks really nice.
Eat up all the snacks.
And we'll give you snacks. Yes, all the snacks you want.
Coach Mac, thanks so much. On the other side of this break, we head back to the ACC PM set, and they are talking to some of the players from Pitt. We've got Marley Washnitz and Leah King standing by with Pack and Taylor coming up after this.